important. We're dealing with old school summer pudding. For summer pudding, we need 1 kilogram approx of berries. Now I've got red currants, black currants and raspberries. You can use blackberries if you want. Do not use strawberries or blueberries. They don't belong in a summer pudding. Okay, let's clear that up. Now I'm going to add 180 grams of caster sugar with some vanilla extract, which, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to toss this fruit in the sugar and leave it to macerate. So the sugars will draw out the juice of the fruit, and that needs to be out for about 4 hours. Okay, to be done at room temperature, don't need to be in the fridge. Oh, and speaking of which, if you're using frozen fruit, because I know not everyone has access to decent berries, you know, many people live in the cities and stuff. If you have access to frozen fruit, you need to add 2 teaspoons of cornstarch or corn flour to the fruit to draw out more of the liquid. It'll also help to thicken up the fluid. See you in a few hours. Now the fruit, as you can see here, has been macerating for about 5-6 hours. It's gone glossy, it's drawn out the juice. That is what you want. So, carefully into the pan, missing absolutely none of the sugar or the juice mixture. That needs to go on a low heat to start off with for a few minutes. Meanwhile, back at base, the Pyrex bowl, chopping board and a split loaf tin. Now truth be told, this isn't the ideal one because it's too fresh, but I'm afraid we have to make do. I couldn't get one last night because they all sold through. So it's got to be proper baker's bread. The ready sliced stuff just does not work as well. So the last one, that's okay. Now what we do is we tear the crusts off. You don't want any crust, you want as much of the slice as possible, but the crusts can be discarded. Right, now summer pudding, because it doesn't have any fat added, it's considered to be quite a healthy pudding. Don't go for brown bread because the whole wheat flavour would kill the flavour of the berries. We do want this to be a pudding rather than a fruit sandwich, which does sound quite tragic now I say that like that. Lean-in stack of bread done. Juice of a lime. Prefer lime to lemon because it's a bit more of a ooh, rather than wow level, you know what I mean? Right, and we just need to bring this up a bit more to temperature. Started out at low speed so it wouldn't burn, but now there's no chance of it burning. Bring it up to medium heat, and we need to simmer this for about 3 to 4 minutes once it's up to temperature. Zoom in here, you can see that this has been on the boil for 2 minutes. The raspberries have just about broken down, don't worry about that. There's still plenty of filling in there, the red currants and black currants have held firm, and the mixture has just thickened a little bit. Okay. Now what we need to do is let that cool for about 10 minutes. We don't want it to be super cool, we just don't want to work with it whilst it's molten. Right, so that's cooled down for about 10 minutes. Okay, what we now do, bread, dip it into the juice carefully. And we line the pudding bowl. Okay. Now the reason why I want the juice on the bread is so we get complete coverage and you don't end up with the equivalent of a bagpuss. Pinch the bread together to create a nice seal, and essentially you're making a jigsaw with the bread. I hate to say, but in the modern era of YouTube, this could easily be classed as a potential Krypton Factor challenge. You don't want to use up all the bread. That's the one thing you don't want to do. If you do, you're in a world of trouble. You need to leave 2, maybe 3 slices left now for that. So it'll leave a little bit around the rim. Okay, and then carefully pour in the mixture. Now, as you can see, this is what we do is we rest a plate with a really dense weight on the top. Basically, think the density equivalent of a Love Island contestant. You kind of got the right idea. Okay, so I'm using a tin of treacle, rice, beans, anything with a dense weight to it. Put on there. This sits at room temperature for about an hour until the internal fruit temperature goes to room temp. Then it goes in the fridge overnight. I knew you had some bad news. It has to be overnight. I'm sorry. You want to eat it now. But the overnight temperature and pressure change brought on with the weight density and the whole thing compacting works a treat. There we are. That's been in the fridge for just under 24 hours. Doesn't need to be in that long, but logistics and timing meant that was the case for me. So now, take the treacle off. Sods will also, this is stuck to the sides. This might not work. Okay, this is always a nervous thing for me. 3, 2, 1. And it's stuck. So, take 2. Now I am starting to get a bit annoyed. Take 3. Comes out in one piece. Hey! Summer pudding. Traditionally served with cream. I'm not a huge fan of cream, so I'll just serve it as is. This is an unveiling here. Check that bad boy out. That is summer pudding in a single slice. The smell is orgasmic. I am not joking. That is a beautiful smell right there. Nice hint of sharpness with the berries, not too sweet, very mild bread, absolutely beautiful. This is going down. So I'll catch you next time for another instalment of Colin's Cooking.